Good morning, and happy International Women's Day to everyone, to men and to women. This is the day we will celebrate the women that has gone before us and given us the freedom for everything, the way things are now. And I'm very lucky. I live in Norway, and here it is a good life. It is. Today, I wanted to talk to you about the different life cycles a business had. There are about 10 stages, and I've taken this from Mr. Anthony Robbins. I'm a huge fan of him, and I took business mastery many years ago. So let's dive into it. You guys probably have a lot to do today with the celebration of the day. I know that many of you have good speaking engagements and so on. So let's dive into it. So the first, welcome to this live, everybody who is in this group who are new. Every Wednesday I go live, and today we are going to talk about the 10 stages of life cycle of a business. Maybe you haven't thought about it, but our businesses also have stages. It's kind of a life cycle, and I always compare my business to my children. Because I have many businesses, I say children, but yeah, it's like a child, every business is had. So the first stage is obviously birth. So this is a stage where you feel that, yes, this is a great idea. This is what the world needs. There is a lack in the demand for something, or lack in the supply for a demand, or you're solving a problem. And maybe you have solved this that way. You have created a product that is needed, and you know for certain that this will change the world. Otherwise, you wouldn't have started this, right? If we didn't have that certainty that our services or our products are needed, then we wouldn't start it. But everybody tells us, business is hard, it can be tough, it's uncertain. But, when the business is starting, we have this knowing that we will succeed, or at least make a difference in the world. This is why we do it. So there is a stage of certainty that this is going to change my life or other people's life. Then we go over to the newborn, the infant stage. And for those who are parents, you might know that it's a joy when the child is born, but when it's an infant, there are so many challenges that you've never been, if you're a first-time parent, that there are new challenges every day, and you don't even know how to solve them. And this is a stage that if you are alone, this becomes very difficult. But you would consider, maybe I should hire somebody part-time. Earlier, it was like you hire a manager or salesperson like full-time, but nowadays we can hire them on hourly basis, like virtual assistants, or somebody to do your accounting, or, and somebody to deliver your products. There are so many different things we can delegate to other people, and everybody is now getting used to it, which is great. I love that. More and more people are hiring other people part-time on hourly basis or project basis. But most of our focus goes to getting new clients and having a cash flow, because if you're going to hire somebody, you need to pay them, right? So even if you haven't paid yourself yet, where would you be able to hire and pay somebody else? So a lot of my clients go from being in this stage and having that issue that I'm constantly chasing clients, or I don't have clients at all. And how would I be able to pay? And if I don't pay, who will do that work? I don't have the capacity. My whole focus goes to marketing and getting new clients. And at this stage, you might feel that there is no reward at all. I'm just going to check if I'm live, actually. I didn't check this today. Yeah. Yes. And so there is very little reward if you don't have a very clear why and you are not determined to make it. A lot of people, leave the race in this stage. because it is a race of survival, right? And this is one of the toughest phases. We all know that, who have children, that this is one of the toughest phases. As soon as you get through this phase, another phase start. But if you can stick through this phase and push it through, then you will make it. But a lot of the businesses go, you know, leave. A lot of people leave the business game in this stage. Then we have the toddler stage. And that is where you're both certain and uncertain. Now you've been a parent for a little while, you know what is happening, and you also know what is not happening, because suddenly you're growing and then suddenly you're stopping, and there is a change in the way the market changes. And even if you have a team that you develop, they are still dependent on you, right? A toddler is always going to be dependent on you. As long as it's crawling, there are dangers, right? So you always have to be on the look for where is the danger. You have to walk behind it all the time. The full focus goes to the future, and you're looking forward to the day that the toddler can be so independent, so you don't have to run around them all the time. And and you're not sleeping, but there are some rewards also, because toddlers are fun to play with and they are happy. And the moment they smile and the moment the business do something good and you have a little success, it's like, yes, I did it. And then you're looking for the next project, and then you're looking for the next project to succeed in. Not all of them will succeed, but you've tasted the reward, tasted the success, and that keeps you going. So this is a good stage. If you're there, you can feel both the certainty and uncertainty. And then you have the teenager. I have two teenagers in my house right now, and it's not easy. It's not fun, but it's very rewarding as well. And this is a stage of total certainty. This is a stage of what you're doing, and it's kind of an attitude of your business has an attitude of a teenager, know it all. And you, as a person who has a little bit more experience, we tend to get a little bit overconfident in the decision we are making, and it's not always easy to make a decision and see what the consequences will be, because the external things are very unpredictable. Like now, right? The things are very unpredictable, and you don't want to make a mistake, but because you have experience from before, when the market was different, you tend to make a little bit more mistakes. But the brand is fresh, is good looking, it's selling by itself, more like teenagers, they're fresh and good looking and more attractive. That's where your business is now, right? Attracting, it's getting more attention, and it's more intriguing, and it's fun to work with it. It's not always about the profits, but some of the profit might be there. It depends on how good your system are in place. So when it comes to rewards, if you're not making too many mistakes, there will be rewards in it. And this is a very, very fun stage to be in. Actually, not everybody likes to be a teenager. Again, I wouldn't, certainly not, because there are a lot of things I love about this age I'm in, or in my 30s. But still, I did have fun in my teenage time. So yes, and then you are young adult. Much more worrying, we are re-establishing certainty. You have more confidence and more experience, and it's kind of a time for you where you want to do the rebranding, make a new logo, and this is a more kind of a certain stage to be in. It's like where you have a job and you want to buy a house and a car, and you want to ease into that time where you just can have fun with the money that you have. And this becomes more that time where you already have a team that is experienced, and they're not dependent on you totally anymore. So your kids have grown up a little bit, you're having fun with them, and the team can actually calculate the decision they're making, and you kind of reaping the rewards, secondly. And and there are profits. And that is a huge reward, isn't it? That the profits is just coming in, the system is in place, the people are in place, the product and the services, you're very certain about it. And you can actually, if you just want to, you can sit back and start creating again if you like to be the creative type. If you are the creative, the idea person, because now you have teams who can actually realize or actualize what you have dreamt of, or the ideas. You just give them this idea and make it happen. And they're so used to you and the system and the way you want it that you can trust them to make it reality, which is a good place to be in. And that's why you have the capacity and the energy to do almost the rebirth of the whole thing. So now, again, we are in a stage of certainty. We are reaping the rewards. You come in and you just sign and you get the profits into your account, and there's nobody dependent on you anymore. And it's good. It's a good stage to be in, zone of maximization and maturity. And it's a predictable excellence. The sales are happening, the profits are growing, and it's stable. And all the hard work that you've done is there. You built the 4 legs of the table and it's stable. Now it's the midlife evolution. This is a very uncertain stage. This is where you have to decide, are you going to rejuvenate? Are you going to innovate? Or are you continue going to age the same way you're doing? You have to decide now, is that, oh yeah, am I going to bring in new, fresh ideas, new, fresh people who are going to take over after a little while? Or am I just going to continue with the same strategies, the same system, the same people, the same products, the same services, and the same customers? Because the customers are growing older as well. So as you are growing older, and if they were raving fans when they were young, they still be fans of you, and they might be customers that will keep on buying from you. But till in one age, they will also stop buying because they feel the need, and you need to find new customers. And if you want new customers, you need to evolve with the market and the demand and the supply. And there's always a new market, there is always new situation, there is always new stuff that people need. So are you going to reinvent everything? Are you going to age? Are you just going to keep holding on to what you had before, and you're just going to keep on aging? In this stage, of course, the rewards are shrinking, and you really need to make a decision, which is not always a fun place to be in, because once you build something, you don't want it to change, because this is your baby, but the baby is grown up. And so this is a difficult stage, aging. So this is a stage where you have decided that you didn't want to transform. And this is a denial and blame game, and victim mentality plays, and the sales are dropping, and the only reward that you have is that you don't have big losses. If that is happening, then that is a reward for you. I would like to tell you, so this organization that my mom built in the 1980s, 1986, she registered it. And it was a huge organization that got also support from the government, and it was recognized as one of the best dance schools in Norway, dance academies in Norway. And we had a lot of big shows, we had a lot of tours in Norway, so we did a lot. And I became the CEO in 2005 and 2006, somewhere there. And I ran it for 10 years. And when we were in stage 7, where we needed to transform, I had a board that I had to, answer to, which did not, see the importance of the transformation. They did not see the importance of changing for new possibilities of new incomes. I was not, we couldn't change the dance style, but we could add to more newer style forms like dance forms. So our dance form is Indian classical dance from North India. So there was never a chance to change, like take that away, but you can always add on, again, it's about renewal, innovation to attract more people into the organization and or more members, more students, more customers, more audience, and more performances. There was so much we can tap into, but it's all about being renewed. And so the board said no, 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 no. And so they refused to go in for transformation, and it was a denial. There was a blame game. So they blamed the whole situation on me, even though I was trying to get them to transform at least 2 or 3 years before the aging started. And there was this blame game, and there was this victim mentality, and all of a sudden I was out of the game. And I said, well, I'll start a new one. They kind of pushed me out, and I started a new one. So what happened with that is that sales dropped, and they started pouring their own money into it. So because there were huge losses. So there were no rewards for them, but there were losses. And the last stage is into, I can't even pronounce that name, but it's definitely an uncertain place to be. And that's what happened with that organization. They didn't want to die, so they kept on holding on. They kept on pouring more money into it, and there was no purpose. It was just sentiment. It was just ego to keep it going, and there was no sense of control. There's no, there's no money in it. There's no purpose, and there's no change, or there's no adding value to the community. If you are in the stage 9, then you just have to accept that, maybe I should in stage 7 change, or the next stage is death. So these are the 10 stages, and I know for sure that many of my clients who are in this group are in either newborn, it's birth, or newborn. There are a few of you who are toddlers. So I just want to hear which stage is your business in, and in the life cycle, and what are your thoughts about this? Do you feel certain, or do you feel uncertain? Do you have a proper business plan that can take you to the next stage? So when I always talk about a solid growth strategy, it's about to take you from one stage of this cycle to the next stage of the cycle. And if you are on stage 7, where you have to innovate, then how do we innovate? So just recently, in end of last year, there was this company which I was working with, and they needed that innovation because they were on they didn't want to age, and they were facing kind of a downfall after 2021, and they could have lost about millions of kroners. So they hired me to change their strategy, change the growth strategy, and come in with fresh eyes where we can save money and where we can, change everything and then bring in some new money. And I actually ended up saving a million kroners, which is about $100,000 approximately. So it's all about thinking new, and it's all about understanding that when market change, you have to change. But if you are in a birth or newborn or toddler, you are probably very in the right place. So yes, I'm not going to take much of your time. I promised I wouldn't do that. So I'll just wish you a very happy International Women's Day. And I hope you have all of your dreams come true, and you're blessed with a lot of prosperity and happiness. And I'm here if you need me, and connect and tell me in which stage is your business of that life cycle. Mwah. Take care. Bye.